Trying to get some pump. I wanted to start with We Will Rock You, but instead it's just me. So what do you know? Raise your hand if you guys can hear me okay, and I'm coming through alive and well. Boom. All right, Mercado's in the house. Good to see you guys. Let's see if I can get a little fresh from the haircut. So I'm feeling pretty sparky right now. There we go. Just went for a run, so I don't know. Anyway, great to see you guys. I'm absolutely pumped. We're going to talk a little bit about the slight edge, because it's just like the slightest edge separates. It's like people, okay, let me frame this properly. We got a bunch of people coming on too, so welcome. Christy, Kristen, Calvin's, Miss Poole, Michael, Mike's, Monique's, Neil's, Paige's, Ralph's, Reed's, Rich's, Rick's, Rob's, Sherry, Steve, Tammy, Terry, Toy, Troy, Andrea, Bianca. I love it, I love it, I love it. So let me frame this properly. What you're looking at real quick. Let's record this too. In 5. We're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Greetings, my friends. Welcome to the slight edge. What we're going to talk about tonight is, let me frame this properly. You've got people who have identical products who are putting ads on identical platforms like Facebook or in identical platforms like solo ads or whatever it may be, and yet, you know, maybe the profile's better. They're doing the identical thing, yet one person is making this kind of money and the other person is just spending money and not making much money, or they're just doing this. But it's on identical platforms. The ads are in the same e-zine articles. They're in the same Facebook. They're using the same platform. But somebody has the slight edge, but the slight edge makes them $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month, while the person without the slight edge is just sitting there wondering why it hasn't happened for them yet. Raise your hand if you get what I'm talking about with the slight edge. It is very slight, and it's very subtle. It's not like the people who are earning the big bucks have anything more. They have the same internet connections. They have the same products. They have the same technologies. It's like they have the same just about everything, but there's a slight edge that is the difference maker. So tonight we're going to go into that a little bit. And I want to welcome you, and I'm pumped, and we've got Michelle Pesco's in the house, Paige is in the house, Andrea reminded me to record. So let's do this. If you are a guest, meaning you're not in the high-ticket thing yet, you're here kind of doing some investigations, kind of learning what that slight edge is, what we're talking about, like Mercado blasted out to his 10 billion people. Michelle blasted out to her people. Andrea blasted out to her people. Brent. I mean, we had a lot of leaders in the industry who actually have that slight edge that out promoted this thing. So I want to do my best for you guys. But if you're here kind of like as an investigative discovery thing, raise your hand. I want to get a clue on that. So I see that, David. I see you guys. Alfonso, I see you guys. Eric, James, Joshua, Justin, Kristen, Christy, Linnell, Meredith, Michael, Mike, Ralph. I mean, I'm really here more, Sean, Steve, Tammy, Terry. I'm really here more for you guys than I'm here for people that are already preaching to the choir, because sometimes the choir needs to be preached to, but I'm really here for you guys so you can discover what some of the differences are. So really quick, that would be me. Hey, Sean, Terry, I got it. Read. So there will be some Q&A and some interaction here in a minute. What you're looking at real quick is a vacation I just took. We'll get to this later because it's really a side note to the whole thing. But my wife and I just went to the Lawrence Welk Resort, which on Expedia, in a nutshell, which guaranteed the best price for March 9th to 16th, which just happened. Expedia's best price guarantee was $2,173. But I was going to be in San Diego actually doing some masterminds. And so I went into my Global Resource Network and I requested San Diego. And 30 minutes from the hotel and 30 minutes from where we were doing the masterminds, I got this identical unit, 2-bedroom unit, for $799 instead of Expedia's best price guarantee of $2,100. So I paid 63% less. I saved $1,374. And more importantly than that, I ended up, while there, people were buying the product as well. So it's like it causes my lifestyle, and it also funds a great deal of my lifestyle, and it does for others as well. So we're going to get to that a little bit, but a little bit about the Slight Edge in a nutshell is kind of the high-ticket picture, and I've drawn this before, and I think pretty soon it will become standard internet practice for this to happen. But raise your hand if you've generated leads online, just anywhere online, like through Facebook pay-per-click, through solo ads, through whatever mechanism you attempted. There was a niche you picked, and then you placed ads out there. Raise your hand if you've generated just the active lead generation. Now, first off, for those of you who are new, you haven't made a lot of money yet, I want this to be very educational for you. If you're not driving traffic, ads are like little doorways into your biz, okay? Ads are little doorways, and if you're not directly creating ads that are like magnets to create people to walk into your business, you might have a product or you might have this or that, but you don't have any foot traffic into your store. You stand, let me be very clear, you stand absolutely no chance of making money. It's just impossible. It's almost as if there was a McDonald's right here, and McDonald's, the reason they thrive is they're really on the best real estate in the world. They're on the busiest intersections, and so they catch the most traffic, and that's why McDonald's thrives. It's not because they have the best hamburgers in the business. It's because they have the most traffic and the best real estate. So it's almost like if you took a McDonald's and you set it out in the deep, deep, darkest Death Valley mountain where there's just a straggler or two that accidentally stumbles upon it, even though McDonald's is identical to the one here, there would be no revenue generated. Raise your hand if you're clear on that. Without traffic, you don't have a business. Even if you have the best business in the world, even if you have the best product, the best deliverable, even if you are a great human, you'd never lie to anybody, you mean well, your kids are good, you want to serve people, even if every single thing is in place, but there's not traffic coming in the door, there is no chance. I mean, it's a fool's dream to believe that there's a chance without traffic. So that's step one. Now, so the question is, for those of you who have been generating traffic, and this is kind of a conversation, I'd like you to tell me what about your cost per lead is. Meaning when someone lands on your ad, they opt into a capture page, and now they're kind of on your list or they're in your ether or whatever, about how much, and shoot me, and don't be bashful. I mean, there'll be a wide range of prices here, so it's no big deal. But shoot me the range of prices that the cost per lead. Now, this is very important, so stick with me why I'm going here. Because the slight edge is sometimes in a strategy. It's just a small little understanding thing. So I'm going to open up a lot of understanding for a lot of people tonight. So here's the numbers that I'm receiving. I'm getting, I'm hearing it's $4 to $5 a lead for some. It's $2 to $4 a lead for another. Keep them coming. I love this. 70 cents to $7. So a lot of this is, you know, you can get 70-cent leads on like really crappy traffic, but you can get 5 leads and it's worth the value of 1 lead that you get on a better targeted thing. So 70 cents to $7, that's the range. It's good. $10 a lead. For instance, we put USA Today in the past. We put USA Today leads out there. They're about $18 per lead, but they convert better than the 70-cent leads. So, you know, the flex can be pretty wide in this thing. Michelle says $1 to $5, so we're getting 1 to 5. We're getting $2.75 to $3 and $3.50. We're getting about $1 a lead. All right, we're getting $6, $2. Okay, thank you all for sharing that. Now here's the important thing to understand. So you've got these leads coming in this niche, which is like make money at home or whatever, and they're costing anywhere, it sounds like, from like 70 cents to $10. Okay. Now, once those leads opt in to your biz, to your list, to your offers, to whatever, that's a hard cost, and now the game is all monetization through service. Okay, so you've got to serve these people with offers and whatever. Now, here's a slight edge strategy, and I want to be real clear with it. When you serve somebody in this make money at home niche, raise your hand if you're here you're just kind of in the make money at home thing. You're like in the business opportunity. How do I get rich online? How do I get free online? How do I be able to quit my job? How do I make it online? If you're in that industry, that's probably 95% of you. A couple of you might be here to learn about our travel product, and you might just be customers. But most people on this call are really in the I want to learn to crack this online code thing. Okay, so that's most of us. Now here's the big revelation. In this niche, whatever the deepest level of your commission potential is, whatever that is the most money you can make from a single lead. It's just the most money possible you can make. So for some people, the highest dollar amount they can make is a $200 commission. Or the highest dollar amount they can make is a $500 commission. Or the highest dollar amount they could make is a $1,000 commission. Well, what's crazy is when you're generating leads at this price, no matter what, they're going to buy different offers, like continuity programs or monthly subscriptions that can range anywhere from $50 to $150 a month, and they're going to buy those, and they're going to buy other information products that are $200 that pay you $150 or whatever. But here's the thing. They will always look for more because they're going to understand that there's offers out there that pay something like $7,700 on one buyer. So you're generating a lead, it's the same amount of cost, and they get into this ether, and their appetite opens up to make more per transaction and to monetize the leads. And so when you have an offer that can create $7,700 commission, or you have an offer that can make a $3,250 commission, all of a sudden their eyes will go down to that, and when they buy, one buyer, I mean, do the math. If you make $100 on one transaction, you make $3,250 on another. That's like having 32 buyers at $100, one buyer. And what one $3,250 commission can do is it can fund a whole lot more lead generation. It can also pay for your mortgage. It can also give you radical optimism for the future of your online business. Let me do an imaginary thing. If today you earned $3,250, raise your hand if that would just burst open the potential that you have for your business. Like in your heart, you would say, "My gosh, I can do this thing. I can do this thing." You know what I'm saying? Like if that was deposited in your account because you made that commission, it would be such a game changer. It would put you it might swallow all the costs you've had in business up to this point and then add to it. And what I want to do real quick is sometimes the slight edge is just having that high-ticket affiliate offer down here, having just the potential, because otherwise you don't have that potential. What I like to do is I like to bring out Michelle. You want to blink your hand real quick and talk on this concept for 1 second. Raise your hand if you want to do that, Michelle, because I got you on here, and I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to unmute you whether you like it or not. We're going to see what happens. Now, Michelle, oh, geez, we go through this every time. Okay, Michelle, you just popped another 3250, and the week before from the same frickin' leads. What do you pay per lead right now, roughly, in the ballpark? I know you do a bunch of lead gen, but what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I would say anywhere from, realistically on average, $2 to $5 a lead.
Okay. So $2 to $5 a lead, and you've got all sorts of cool little offers and affiliate programs and continuity products and MLMs in there and all sorts of cool stuff. But you keep consistently popping these 3250 commissions. Do you feel that that's a real game changer for your monetization of those leads, or how do you approach that high ticket in your mindset? What is it?
Yeah,
what's your mindset on it?
It's a huge game changer, and it's funny because I know you're speaking to a lot of people. Can you hear me okay?
Raise your hand, everybody, if you can hear Michelle okay.
I can keep talking. I'm on my phone.
Yeah. Talk. Yeah,
okay.
People can hear you, but we love it when you talk really loud.
Okay, I'll talk really loud. I'm sitting in a parking lot at my daughter's swim practice.
Perfect.
But No, it's funny because you were just talking about, new people that aren't making any money online, and that really brought me back to when I joined Global Resorts, and I wasn't making any money online by any means. I think I'd been online for maybe 3 or 4 months, making a couple of $100, and making the commissions, through Global Resorts literally changed my life. I was able to pay my mortgage that I was behind on. Just one sale paid my mortgage, and the second sale I made, I chunked away, the things that I needed to pay off. I'd just gotten back from a honeymoon and, borrowed money off of my mom's credit card just to get into Global Resorts behind my husband's back. And it was like as soon as I made that second sale, I was over there paying her off. And, it's amazing what one sale will do. I mean, that kind of money for a lot of people who are new that are just struggling right now and not even making any money online. Like, I remember that, and it's so powerful.
Hey, doesn't it? I think one of the biggest things that does, everybody, is when you wake up, okay, you wake up in the morning and you know that, by God, one of those buyers can change my life today. When you don't have like the $3,000 commission sitting in front of you, I can feel the desperation in somebody who can only make a $200 commission max, or a $500, even $1,000. Like, it just doesn't give you that carrot that's like, man, I'm gonna keep going and going, and then those are gonna pop. Raise your hand if you guys know what I'm saying here. Feel me in this one. And a lot of you guys are, checking this thing out, and Michelle, you did that Platinum Plus that was like a surprise $7,700 commission.
Right.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, and I have to tell you a story. It's really funny because you know Bill very well, and you mentioned to everybody on the call that we have other multiple streams of income. And I'll see him days, really pounding the phone, calling leads for some of our other businesses, and, going through that. And I'll walk out in the living room and be like, oh, wow, I just opened my email, and, 5 minutes later, look, I just made $3,200. I'll tease them for it. I was like, how much did you make today? Just jokingly. But that's the big difference.
Sure he loves that. I'm sure he loves that joke.
But, I mean, that's the big difference now, when as an experienced marketer now making that kind of money, it's so rewarding to just realize that, hey, I mean, the way we've set up our business and being able just to build these relationships with people and share the value of Global Resorts, the high-ticket affiliate program, and just painting that picture for them now, and just spending maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes on a phone call with somebody to make that sale makes it so well worth it, and gets me excited to go say that to Bill.
and that's part of the concept is and you do it, and everybody, it's always a value-based situation. So Michelle and Bill bring people into their ether, and they see that, there's service there, there's compassion, there's consistency, and, they stay in the ether. And then they're like, yeah, well, they've also got these big high-ticket things down here, and that's a lot of times how, these sales happen. So it's very value-based and deep sense of connection to the buyers.
Yeah. And our most recent one, it was exactly how that was done. Guy Taylor, I mean, phenomenal guy. He works with us in another business. And, we work with him, and he saw the value of a high-ticket affiliate program, too. And, so I knew this guy. And, so I'm sure he's, he might be on the webinar. I don't know. But he's coming out to Tempe to the big live event.
Nice.
And that's exactly how that one took place, just through the relationship of working with him and showing him the value of having a high-ticket program.
Okay, there's Guy right there.
Yeah.
I think I've met Guy before, actually, somewhere.
Maybe.
Has he been around MLSP and stuff, or what?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then the person before that, who was that before that? What was the short story on that one?
That one I told you wasn't much of a story. I kept saying I wish I had a story. That one, I just woke up in the morning and there was a sale.
We like those just as much as the.
And I hate sharing that. I know you always tell me to share that, but I get to where I'm like, I don't want to make everybody think it's just really that easy, but it is at times.
It can be.
But I don't know. You analyze that. Sometimes I feel bad about sharing it that way, so you do the disclaimers and share it.
I'll do the disclaimers. I mean, the disclaimer is, it's the slight edge. I mean, the slight edge is a difference in approach. You've got longevity at heart, and then miracles and magic start happening. Michelle, thanks for popping out. I appreciate it. and I know you have a lot of guests. So if you're a guest of Michelle's, make sure you get back directly with her. And then if you're a guest with, there are a bunch of leaders invited people here tonight, so make sure you get back with them. Michelle, thanks for sharing. You're awesome.
Thank you.
All right, I'd like to hear, so let me debrief a couple things on that. I think the big one is this mindset. Just raise your hand if you're clear with the idea of you get people in your ether and your communication, and then they see these high-ticket things and they buy. And it's the same cost to bring people into your world as it is to monetize from them. And I think the deeper truth of the whole game is that if you don't pitch them a high-ticket thing, if they don't see a high-ticket item in your store, pretty soon the entire industry will have a high-ticket item. I mean, everybody. Like it'll be as common as having a low-ticket item or a continuity item, is that everyone will have a high-ticket item, because if you don't, you're just going to lose money. You're just going to lose money. It's a fact. They're going to join a high-ticket opportunity with somebody else. So it's really key that you see that. Love to hear from somebody else who wants to share. So if you want to share, if you're in and you want to share kind of an experience that you have with applying this whole high-ticket methodology, I'd love to bring you out. I see Brenda, I see Andrea on here. See, you guys raise your hand if you want, and then I will call you out. I see that. I mean, there's a lot of you guys out there, so raise your hand if you want to share. I'll call you out. Either why you just joined or, okay, hang on. Christy Carter, let's go. Christy Carter, are you there?
Hello, Mark. How are you?
I've never been better. Christy, share with us your story in a nutshell, and what went on and why you're in and what's the deal.
Well, I love Global Resource Network. I think it's one of the best things around. I mean, I'm doing a lot of comparisons. I'm going kind of more the retail avenue, if you will. Right. I have a great, a nice website, nice. And we're getting some really good traffic with that. I'm selling actually both the retail and the biz off. But I love my retail site, and I'm doing, I'm sending out specials every Monday to my list.
I love it. So everybody, just real quick, when Christy says she's doing retail, here's what she means. Here's the Wyndham Valley Hyatt's in Princeville, Hawaii, and Expedia's best price for 7 nights, December 15th to December 22nd, $2,100 in GRN, 2-bedroom, identical. Everything is identical. We pay 76% off. It's right by amazing hiking, surfing, sea turtles, ocean adventure, the Kalalau Trail. I've been there. I've actually been there staying at a different GRN resort when another GRNer was at this resort, so I've been in this place. I've hung around it, and that's what she means by retail. One trip right here, somebody's saving like $1,700. Raise your hand if you can see how the product itself is pretty self-explanatory, and it's easy to demonstrate. Like here it is. Like this is whatever percent savings, 76% savings. This one here is a little more complicated, so I'll share it later. This one here is right in Phoenix, $1,100 on Expedia for 7 nights. Inside GRN, same exact everything, $325 for the week. That's 71% off, $46 per night. It'd be more expensive to stay at the Motel 6, and you're in a brand new condo. Anyway, Christy, back to you. So you've got your retail thing. What would you say is the slight edge for you in your growth and why you get motivated to be in this opportunity?
Oh, because I just see the opportunity. I love it all. I'm just so passionate about GRN. Is crazy. I've been a member for about 3 years or so, and nice. Just FYI, I caught the sale, just a silver membership last weekend. I'm not sure where it came from. I need to track a little bit better.
You don't even know. See, and that's $1,000 commission.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And here's what's cool, gang. One usage of this product saves you. I mean, just like right here, the person at Silver pays $2,000, and on this vacation alone, they save like $1,600. One use.
Yeah.
They get 2 per year for life. So, well, congrats on that sale, by the way.
Thank you. Feels good.
All right, let's hear. I want to take some questions. I know we got Christy. I'm going to mute you out. I appreciate you hopping out and sharing. We got like 1 billion more people that want to share. I'm going to try to find you here to mute you. And good work. Keep it up. Keep it up. All right, so let me hear Kelvin. Kelvin just joined not too long ago. Let's see. Kelvin.
You did.
Kelvin Miles, are you out there, my friend?
I am indeed. Hi, Mark.
Kelvin. So tell us now. Are you kind of new to the industry? I don't know your story in a nutshell.
No, I'm I'm not new to the online industry, but I'm new publicly to it.
Okay, got it.
I always sort of hid in the background on niche sites and that sort of thing.
Okay, so you joined with Andrea Goodset, is that right?
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yep, and
why did you join with her? You were in one of her other ticket things, right? One of her other.
well, Andrea and I met up with yourself and Jonathan Budd's Futuristic Marketing.
Yep.
Got together since then, and I now help her with the Mastermind Partner Program that she runs.
Okay.
And GRN had been on my radar
Right.
some time back. I actually came across your site, but then Andrea started talking about it,
Right.
and eventually I went ahead. I mean, from my point of view, just from a pure retail point of view,
Yeah.
my last vacation in the Bahamas cost me 8.5 grand.
Yeah.
I will save, 7 grand this time round.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just look at, like, here's another example, gang. This is Wyndham Ocean Walk, and I think it's Daytona Beach. I mean, the ocean is right here. You got the kids' water slides. You got the pool. It's a Wyndham. It's a two-bedroom, prime time kind of end of summer deal. On Expedia, it's $2,700. Same exact thing on GRN is $599. Over $2,100. $2,100 savings, 78% off. This is on one use. We cause more vacations. I can't prove this, but I believe we cause more vacations than any other movement or network in the world because this, people can go on vacation. A lot of people don't even get to go, but we cause people to be able to go. So you like it for the retail, but when you joined, like you made a...
I like high ticket,
Yeah.
so it appealed very much on that. I mean, having, as you said, a good back end
Yeah.
is vital.
And you made a sale.
Wherever,
You made a sale, and how long did it take you to make your first 3250?
well, in terms of discussion, about 10 minutes.
10 minutes so human effort. It took you 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
But like, how long you bought platinum, and then you made 3250? What was the total like?
I think it was about 10 days.
10 days. And does that? I mean, did it feel like this is what we're talking about, gang? When you can, that kind of commission influx is the equivalent of 30 $100 buyers. You got to move some magic to make 30 of those $100 buyers.
If I can share something that's really interesting, that the person that joined with me was a coaching client. There was a joint client of myself and Andrea.
Right.
Now, he's working up in Wyoming, and he finally has a product that not only can he use and talk about online, he has a product that he's comfortable about talking to his friends about offline.
Yeah. See, the retail thing is this is kind of the dark magic of GRN is that we have a lot of our top earners have sold this to their parents. I mean, that's a big difference because you can be super proud of this. Like I just had a friend who went to, oh my gosh, they went to the Caribbean or something and bought a $15,000 timeshare. And it was like, wow, why did you do that? You're crazy. But this is very friends and family friendly. It's because there's so much value there. So how about else? What's your future for GRN? What do you like about it? You got some prospects on the
I've got a few on the horizon. I'm starting to roll out some advertising, primarily towards retail. I just want to position it properly on the internet marketing space. And as you know, Andrea is involved, and several of the people we have in our group are also in GRN and have been fairly inactive.
Nice.
So we're stirring them up. But my target is one a week by the end of this year.
Yeah, and one a week, I mean, do the math on that, gang. I'm going to let you do the math on that. It's around 12.
About 160 grand.
Yeah. So one a week. We're not talking about 1,000 a week. We're talking about one a week. Kelvin, thanks for popping out, and good work on your early success.
Thank you.
You did.
You know, and that part of the slight edge, everybody, is really asking yourself, like, this is the way I like to look at it, is I like to look at it like this. You've got three ways to make wealth. I mean, there's like walking your way. This is like time for money kind of a thing. Then you've got a faster way where you can, you know, make more money in less time. But then there's like the jet, and the jet is where you can have a 10-minute phone call and make $32.50. Or like Michelle, you can make $7,700 without a phone call. Like it really like jolts you forward towards financial freedom and those kind of things faster than anything else. All right, raise your hand if you're getting some value tonight, hearing from people, kind of seeing the concept and all that. Alfonso, I see that. Thank you. Angie Hernandez back from the dark. Good to see you, David, Dennis. Good to see you guys, Eric. All right, let's hear another strat. I'd like to hear from somebody who has a strat. Mercado, you're out here somewhere. Where are you? I know you got a bunch of buddies on the line here. See, Mercado, where art thou? Let's see if you're out there. Mercado, my brother.
Here with you, Mark.
Robert, so tell me, you promoted the slight edge. What does the slight edge mean to you in terms of the high ticket stuff? And describe it. Describe it for me.
Yeah, sure. I feel it's important. It's one thing I learned where if you don't have a high ticket, there's going to be people that are going through your funnel or whatever you're doing that are looking for that high ticket. And you actually mentioned it earlier, that if they don't get it from you, they're going to get it from someone else. And I personally wouldn't want to be that person where it's like, hey, I got a high ticket program from someone else when they easily could have got it from me. It's something I'm offering. And then really quick, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You're actually something you can introduce to your parents, anyone, where it's really vacations. Who doesn't take vacations? Right. I just think it's amazing because not only you make money with the program, you make a lot of money, but to me, when you save money on things you were going to spend as well, that's also making money for me as well. So it just has that double side to it that is just so perfect. And I mean, with the event that you have coming up as well for it, I think it's amazing. So, I mean, I'm just glad to be on board with you. Yeah.
I love it. So, Robert, real quick, you're a lead generating monster.
Mm.
What are you paying roughly? What's your range of lead cost per lead?
I would say $1 to $2.
Okay, so you've got your $1 to $2, and then they go through. I mean, you've got a couple different programs that are in here, but again, it's the ether, and then like tonight. So you build goodwill. I mean, Robert was the top vote getter for the No Excuses, which is the industry-wide, like generic, non-company specific, biggest event of the year, and you got the most votes out of anybody, which is a super tribute to you as a leader. But, you know, so you're generating these lists and you're bringing them into your ether, and, you know, they're hanging out with you. And then what you did tonight is a case in point where you're like, all right, everybody, here is the deeper level of commission structure that I have, and it's a newer offer. And now you have flocks of people on here that are they know you, they like you, they trust you, they're in your world. And really, it's only a couple of these, 1 or 2 a week, and you've added a 6-figure plus onto what you're doing.
Exactly. And not only if I don't actually have that in place, I'm selling myself short, but I'm also selling my community, the people that I'm connected to. If I don't share that with them, I even said it in the email I sent out, I feel guilty not sharing this. And it's just awesome. So yeah, exactly what you said. And that's the thing. It doesn't take a lot of effort to get a lot of results. I heard the gentleman just a few minutes ago. I mean, literally a 10-minute conversation. That's pretty worth it. And you know, and you're making a couple of grand, and you don't need a lot of sales. 1 or 2, you said, just to create a 6-figure income, which is incredible. So.
And the real beautiful thing for me is that in terms of like ease of conscience, you know, like here's a Marriott Newport Coast Villas. It's a $16,500 for timeshare. Okay, that's if you get the timeshare deal, and then it's $820 per week you use. So every year you're paying $820 once you drop $16,500 for the timeshare. Okay, and this is biennial odd years. This is at buyatimeshare.com. So it's $16,500, and people buy this stuff all the time. It's a $6 billion industry, and this is the average price of a week of timeshare. This is every other year, and it's just anyway. So, and this is $420 per year, and you only get to use it every other year. So it's actually 840, my bad. But inside GRN, and if you went on Marriott and you booked this exact unit during this exact week, it'd be about 1,670. But inside GRN, you can get the same exact everything with your $5,000 membership one time, and you pay $799 for a 2-bedroom that sleeps 8 in premium Vegas. I mean, it's just a really great deal.
And Mark, actually, I was going to bring up what you just brought up. A lot of people don't realize that, and that's something that I actually got so intrigued by. It's a one-time payment, and you continue to not only make commissions on the sales you produce, but you can go on vacation for a number of different times throughout the year, and it depends how high of a level you have, but a one-time payment,
yeah,
you can't go wrong.
It really is awesome. So, Robert, I appreciate you sharing this with the community tonight. And make sure if you're a guest of Robert's tonight, I know he blasted it out to his 30. What's your list nowadays?
It's about 25,000, 30. Yeah.
25,000, 30. And this is what we mean. And here's a slight edge concept too. I know you talked about the slight edge, and let me share a super key slight edge concept. The slight edge concept, and everybody really anchor on this one. And Robert, I know you've already committed to this in your first year, but if this is you and you're just dipping your toe, like the online income, it's a online biz op world is probably a $500 million per year industry. It's not the hugest industry in the world, but it's not bad. If you dip your toe in this and say, I'm going to try this thing out for like 6 months and see what happens, like if that's your attitude, just don't do it. It's not worth it. But what you did was you were like, I'm done with the corporate thing. I'm done with the job. And I'm going to learn how to swim and sail and play and build an island and live in this world. I mean, am I accurate on that? You decided.
100% accurate.
Okay, so what he did was then he ramped up his list. And he said, I'm going to build a list because a list there's a lot of power in the list. And so he churns out 28,000 people, and he says, I'm anchoring down as a leader in this industry. And then, think of the value of sending people to not just this offer. He's got other offers as well. But the gist of it is, do you know how much value this list lifetime becomes? It becomes a lot of value. And so somebody who's on here tonight, Robert, for the first time they're looking at this and they're going, oh my gosh, that blows my mind. I can never do that. In 3 months, they're actually going to say, oh my gosh, I got my taxes back and we refinanced our home, and I want to live in this world too, and I understand the power of a high ticket, and they're going to join you. And I have people that have been on my list for 5 years that are joining now still. They're just coming to join. And they bought, and here's the other big slight edge concept. And Robert, you're going to see this in a greater measure as well as you continue to grow, is when people join and they have the potential to make like a $3,250 commission, and a traffic product for $150 gets sold, and it says, here's how someone generates 30 leads per day and gets them to a capture page, and then you send them to your opportunity. The people who are incentivized to make this kind of money buy these lower ticket offers like rabid animals, because there's so much more potential for them to gain. Raise your hand if you get what I'm saying on that. So if you've got that kind of profit potential, all of a sudden all the lower ticket things that you offer to this list makes more sense, and you have better buyers. And so, the whole full circle of just making more because of the high ticket, but you also make more on your low ticket, because the messaging is, hey, get people into your low ticket community because it gets them into the ether. And then they find out about the high ticket, and then they buy the high ticket. And this is where the whole industry is heading. It's just where it's heading. And it's, you're all here because this is part of a trend that's happening. So it's a powerful thing. Robert, any last words on, so with Phoenix, by the way, you were talking about the Phoenix event. If you buy Platinum, I have High Ticket Mastery, where I'm going to talk about the surest that I know way to create 100K online. It's going to be in Phoenix, and it's next week, Thursday and Friday. If you're watching a recording, it's probably passed by. But this is Good Friday, actually. Thursday night, starting like 8 o'clock or so, in the courtyard, we're going to have drinks and cigars. And then Friday, all day, we're going to talk about strategies to generate leads and close leads to create $100,000 in 12 months, which is really 3 sales a month. Less than 3 sales a month would create $100,000, which is very doable. So that's what we're going to talk about. Robert, when people get back to you, you know what, we'll just leave it at that. If you're here as a guest with Robert, make sure you get back with Robert, and that's all I know.
Nice.
Robert, thanks for popping out, boss.
You got it. Thanks, Mark.
You are the man. And Rob, you know, we got so many cool leaders in this community. I'm so honored. All right, let's do this. I feel like I said this would be 30 minutes, so we can go into overtime, but I'd love to take some questions How do I sign up? Rafael, get back to the person who brought you here, who invited you here, and just say, where's your link? And then it's like buying an ebook on Amazon. It's like buying shoes from Zappos. It's like takes 5 minutes. And then you just go through, you take Visa, MasterCard, or Discover, pay, and then Global Resorts Network pays every week. And we pay affiliates in over like 25 different countries. We've paid affiliates. We're like 6 years old. We've got a great product. I use it all the time. We have people that use it all the time. So you want to get back to the person that invited you here. That's how you get signed up, my friend. Shelly, good to see you. Sound got a little iffy there. Not needed. Yes, Angie, you will get it. All right, so what I'd like to do is take a couple questions, and then I will get back to you. But, back to the high ticket thing. So next Thursday and Friday, if you join at Platinum, you get a free ticket to the conference. So it's a $1,000 ticket if you're not in GRN, but we're really going to focus primarily on how to create GRN sales. It's going to be an intimate group of like 20 to 30 people. It's going to be a blast. It's going to anchor your conviction, and it's really important to network. We've got Crystal Curtis is coming out. Michelle is coming out. Raise your hand if you're coming to Phoenix. Just so I know Michelle is coming. I know Brenda is coming. I know Eric Wilkes is coming. Dennis Roberts is going to be there. Jerry's going to be there. Jared Sloan's going to be there. Christy Carter's going to be there. She just shared a little bit ago. So we have a nice Vincent, and Vince, raise your hand if you want to pop out and say hi. I mean, Vince has done like, holy crap, what's his best day, I think. Vince, my brother.
What's up, brother?
Last but certainly not least, the Ortega sensation. Vince, what's your best day, a single day in GRN you've done?
Oh, my best day is a little under 15,000. I forget, it was a few platinums and then like 3 or 4 silvers. It was crazy.
Yeah, so a little FTC disclaimer, this is not normal because Vince is a freak. He's a freak. But 15K, I mean, did this kind of change your game, adding a high ticket?
Changed everything. I tell people, I think, I say that it's about 50% of my income, but I think it's more like 65 or 70. Like, it's crazy. I mean, because we're just so used to, most people are used to making, anywhere from $37 maybe up to $50 a person. When you start making, $3,000 commissions, it's crazy, man. Your income just skyrockets. I mean, it's cool when you're.
Who just joined with you? You had a couple people just join.
We got Ashley and Susan. Just came in 3 days ago, or no, it's been about a week now, maybe 3 or 4 days now. And then we have a bunch on the line. I'm trying to get them to, they're asking their family, things like that. I tell people, a lot of people are like, how do people come up with $5,000? You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody's going to have $5,000 to start. And
Vince, before we go there, let me get permission on this thing.
All right.
You guys want to raise your hand if you want to hear the deep secret dark magic on how people like Vince and myself and Michelle apparently pull magic out of the rock to get these $5,000. It's not mad. I mean, 5,000 is 5,000, but raise your hand if you want to know how we do it, and we do it over and over, and how we've done. Okay, so we've got enough buy-in, because I think if deep in your heart you think $5,000 is like this outrageous number, this is not for you. That's a fact. But let's play with this. So Vince, 5,000. How do you do it? How do you do it, Vince?
I mean, what I tell people, first off, of course, you got to be bold enough to ask people, if they got some credit cards, things like that. Because you got to tell people essentially that nobody's going to be looking for an opportunity if, they already have money. That's just a no-brainer. The fact is just how bad do people want it, for one, and then the next thing is, giving them the vision of what could happen if that came in their life. What could you do with 3250? Could you pay a few mortgage payments that quick? Things like that. As far as finding the money, we all have our own stories of how we get the money. There's different things you can do. There's mini loans, there's credit cards, there's family and friends. If you got some good people in your circle, they'll help you out.
I mean, Michelle, let's take Michelle. Like Michelle, in the last I think she's done 2 or 3 platinums in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I know she's done 2. That's $6,500. And she borrowed money 2 or 3 years ago from her mom.
Yeah.
She made that back multiplied dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Ultimately, you're buying the travel membership, which actually I bought mine on a 22% interest credit card that I maxed that thing out to buy it, and I bought it on faith that someday I'd be able to use these damn vacations because I couldn't afford them anyway. So even once I bought the vacation membership, I'm like, I'm buying this in faith that someday I'll be able to take these vacations because I certainly can't afford them.
Right.
But maybe I will. And I just, like I said, use it over and over. So some of it's the want muscles. And one thing that I've closed, like a lot of these sales, is when the 5,000 comes up, I'll say things like, well, let's do this right now. I'll do it to everybody on this call. So I'd like everybody to answer this in the question box, every single person. Okay, raise your hand if you hear me. You just got to trust me. Raise your hand if you're willing to play this little game. You don't even need to know what it is yet. How much, whether it was finance or whatever, how much is the car did you pay for the car in your driveway right now? Just fire the number off, whatever it is. Just start firing. I'll start reading. So this is what I'd say, Vince. I'd say, how much did you spend on the car that's in your driveway? 45,000, 20,000, 10,000, 20,000, 32,000, 10,000, 27,000, 23,000, 18,000, 20,000, 38K thousand, 25,000, 8,000, 12,000, 27K thousand, 27, 23K, 25K, 35, 40, 35, 9,000, 60,000. Sagar, 60,000. That's
nice.
20,000, 12K, 30. Okay, so 13K. So all these numbers: 42K, 26K, 32K, 25K,
Dude, you can't
15.
get in the car
12K, blah blah. So I tell people, so you've got this depreciating depreciating liability in your driveway that when you bought, you probably drove around like a freaking puppy to all your friends. Look at my new car, yay! You probably had beers and everybody was celebrating and you were so excited. And that sucker lost value the second you bought it, and it's getting worse every minute you own it. And then, but you get $5,000 offer to join with an avant-garde group of entrepreneurs and all this potential to rack in this money and change your life, and you're sweating blood drops. Right? So I say to myself, does that make sense? It just doesn't even make sense to me. So I've closed probably a few $100,000 on that close alone.
That's good. Yeah, I never heard you say that one.
You're more of a consumer than an entrepreneur. If you look at 5,000, you're sweating blood drops, and you can't come up with any resources or any financing or anything. You just shut down. But you can open up for a $25,000 car like it's candy. It just doesn't make sense, my friends. So, on the $5,000 conversation, that's just one way that I've closed many sales on that one. But
that's money. Yeah, and that's what I tell people. Just because a lot of people are like, well, you have all these amazing stories of you making this and that and this. I'm like, but I had to start without that story. So I just I leveraged your story of the 22% credit card and all that good stuff. You just have to utilize and leverage, obviously, stories of other people. In the beginning, it's the easiest thing. But, I mean, the travel package sells itself, too, which is amazing. I mean, just to be able to travel the world for so cheap, So you definitely have to have an amazing product to back that up.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. Like, just like this one example. I mean, $325 for a week at a nice, I've been to this. I've hosted GRM conferences there. That's powerful. $799 for a 2-bedroom right on the Newport coast on a 4-star Marriott, that people that next to you, they paid $16,000, $20,000 to be there every other year, and then they pay $820 just to use their week. You pay $5,000 to get in a GRN, and then you pay $800 one time. It's almost embarrassing. Hawaii. I remember the first thing I did when I bought GRN was I went to Hawaii with it, and I paid $300 for a week, and I called up a friend and I said, hey, I got to use this thing to make sure it's real for me, because GRN was like a year old, and everybody was just making money, so nobody was really taking the vacations or talking about them. So I was like, I have to use this to make sure it's real for me. So I called up a friend. I said, if you can get to Hawaii, I'll pay for it. And so he came down there, and then another guy that just joined GRN with me came down there, and my friend was like, man, you're so generous, and you're so kind, and you're the best ever. And I'm like, bro, this was $300 for the week. This is not, I'm really not that awesome. So that's kind of the deal there. Vince, the Slight Edge, really, you've really taken off in the last few months. So GRN aside, this is the high ticket thing for you down there, and it funds a lot. Does it not fund your whole, it just funds a lot of enterprise.
Oh, it's taking control of everything pretty much.
But why don't you give a couple like success secrets of Vince, because you before we started collaborating, you said you were around like 3K that month before we connected, and then the next month you were at whatever, and then you did like 60K in 60 days. Like, it was a huge whirlwind. But what was the big difference from here to this 30K month or whatever you had?
Definitely would have never started out without the live event. Getting to a live event to find out and figure out that it's real. There's people sitting next to you, talking to you, making $100,000 a month. Actually being there and feeling it. Feeling the actual spirit of people doing it.
So let me interrupt on that one, my friends. If you're looking at this and you're like vibing with it, and you can piece together 3 or 4 credit cards, and you can somehow skateboard to Phoenix for next week, and you can get around me and get around Vince and get around Michelle and get around Crystal and get around Brenda, get around Eric, and all these people that are making these sales, and see that and feel it, literally just feel it, I guess. It's
feeling
nothing
it, seriously.
other than feel it. It's going to position you to change your life. Like Vince, 3K? And he had oh my gosh. Okay, so live events.
Live events for sure, man. And then leveraging other people's success, definitely. So getting in people's space and leveraging their success. I always just tried to leverage my own knowledge, which it did get me pretty far because I worked hard and learned a lot of things. But then once I leveraged your story and leveraged the people around me, things like that, that was a huge one. And then just being consistent finally, doing something every single day, to show people that I was ready to rock and roll,
Every day. Oh, man, okay, there's so much here that we're in overtime, so you guys, we're going to go deep real quick. Every day. Okay, so follow this, gang. Follow this. You attend a live event. You literally, I don't know. I read psychology magazines. I'm kind of a dork like that. But they've done studies now that fatness is contagious. Being fat is contagious. They have studied this out, that the people you hang around, you're actually going to be the sum total of their weight.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm not kidding you. It's the craziest thing. And it's the same with your money. It really is the same thing with your money. You're going to be the sum total of the 5 people that you basically interact and ether with. And I don't think that's a word, ether with, but anyway, I made it up. But you're going to be that. So Vince, literally, he got around us, and it's like me, and it's J-Bud, and J-Bud broke loose in GRN, by the way, as well. And you're sitting there in the middle and vibing, and all of a sudden, poof, you go from 3K that month to the next week, you're working with me, and then you do 15K in a day within 45 days. So the live event, raise your hand if you get the power of the live event. Some of you honestly think that you can sit in your own world and think this into reality for yourself, and you're not going to be able to do it. It just doesn't happen. I've never met anybody. Well, that's kind of a double-edged sword, because obviously I have to meet somebody at a live event. So, but I've barely ever heard of anybody who doesn't get their breakthroughs by being around people in a live event.
Yeah, because I used to think that you could do it too, and I got to a plateau, and then
I had one. There was a while ago, a guy wrote, he was trending off my name, so more power to him. But he wrote a blog post on how Mark Hoverson was wrong, and what he was saying was Mark says that you should spend your money on going to live events, but you should really spend your money on marketing. You should put that money toward leads and all this crap. And he got traffic off it and all this jazz. But the gist of it is, don't think that way because it's wrong.
Okay? It's definitely wrong.
It's just wrong. So you made a goal to get to a live event. It literally made you contagious, and now you're coming again, and you're going to be more emboldened. You're going to be more powerful after this next event than you were even at the last one.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two is other people's success. A lot of you think that everything is riding on you when it's actually you can leverage a webinar like this. Like I just got a text message from another teammate who said he just made a Platinum Plus. That's a $7,700 commission based on tonight sending people to this venue, having an 8-figure earner visit with people. He's leveraging other people's success, and the membership, you're leveraging other people's membership. The travel provider. For instance, what you're really leveraging isn't just the story. You're leveraging right here with like the Ocean Walk. You're leveraging oceanfront property. Oceanfront property. You're leveraging $2,700 is Expedia. You get it for $600. You're leveraging the best real estate in the world, in the entire world. It's golf course real estate, ocean real estate, mountain real estate, resort real estate. We have all of it. So raise your hand if you see what I'm saying. You've got to understand that the wealthy people learn to leverage things. So they leverage other people's lands. They leverage other people's platforms. They leverage other people's merchant accounts. They leverage other people's stories. Everything is a game of leverage, and the more you actually get out of yourself to start touching other leverage points, the more you position yourself to make great money.
Exactly.
I'm getting a little crazy.
It's just spitting the truth, brother. That's all there is to it, man.
All right, so back to your story. I'm kind of hijacking your time here, but I'm getting really.
Oh, no.
Raise your hand if you're getting some value out of tonight, gang. We got it. We got love coming. So I'm saying we're going overtime tonight. We're going overtime tonight. All right, so you say live events, which, listen, join and get your butt to Phoenix. It's a week away, but just make it happen. I don't know. Just figure it out. You can do it. So you got the live events, and that's contagious. Then you've got other people's everything is what I'll call it. Other people's products, other people's stories, other people's merchant accounts, other people's marketing, other people's land, other people's everything, other people's resorts, other people's everything. And then what was the third one?
And it was being consistent action, doing something every single day in the eyes of the people who are watching you.
Every day. Jim Rohn talks about the most valuable time is presence in the prospect's presence.
Yeah.
Which is what all. Yeah.
Exactly. So every single day I post something to Facebook and I send an email. And at the end of the day, I have people who join in GRN, whatever it is I'm involved. I have people who've been following me for, you said that you're having people following you for 5 years finally joining. Well, I've only been doing this for 3 years, but they're joining me after 2 and 3 years of seeing me stay consistent. So, I mean, that's the kind of mentality you have to have. A lot of people want this get-rich-quick kind of situation, but that's not what it's all about. It's being consistent and actually, showing people that you're not going to leave them, ever, because you're always doing something brand new every single day, or just, even sharing something inspirational, just a picture online, stuff like that. People love that,
Right.
And so as soon as I started getting more consistent, that's when people have been joining every single day.
I'm telling you, I promise. Here's the slight edge too. The slight edge is there's a stamina that some of you have not brought to the table yet. Okay, and you haven't brought this to the table in a lot of areas. You haven't brought it to the table in your health disciplines. You haven't brought it to the table in your relationships. It's a stamina thing. And when you bring a kind of a deep level of like, I'm not going to fatigue out. I'm going to go for it. What happens is once you see, that's what happens. You separate. So everybody wants to make money online. Who wouldn't? Like, what's wrong with these people? So everybody wants it. But then some people just try this much, and then they run out of stamina. They run out of like the consistency. So you do this, and then there's Vince, and he just keeps going. And then all the money starts raining. And Michelle, and all the money starts raining. Mercado, and all the money starts raining. And Christy, she's working that retail thing. She's not giving up. She makes up that sale, and she's coming to the feed. So it's the stamina things that separates. It's like the tortoise and the hare. You know, you stick with it, and that's what makes the magic. It's powerful.
It is. It's super powerful. See, a lot of people a lot of people will go real hard for up to about a month max, I've seen, and then they fade off, you know what I'm saying? And that was right at that breakthrough point where, you know, people were starting to look at them, starting to see what they were doing type of situation. So a lot of people don't realize that literally one day can separate all the success that they're going to have, you know? It could be that one day that somebody's going to take action, you know, that next they just want to see one more post, you know? And that's
you know, I will tell you, a lot of people just want to see if you're the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You know, is this Joker going to be around, or what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a bunch of cool people. I mean, Andrea Goodsaid just said live events turned my world around last year. I'll leave an unnamed person said, man, I've been hanging around with a bunch of broke-ass people.
That's funny. So true, probably. So true.
How do we make the GR? Okay, so Tammy asks, how do we make the? Yeah, I guess I should go over the pay plan. I haven't done that yet. So Vince, I'm going to mute you out. I appreciate you, brother. I can't. Yeah. We've got bromance at the Hoverson Hotel next week.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be real good.
It's going to be fun.
All right, Vince, you're the man. So here's the gist of how the money is made, my friends. All right, this is in a nutshell. We have 3 different levels. We have our Platinum Plus, which I was just informed one of our, text me if you can share, if you want to share that. I'm not going to force it out, but text me back if you want to share that with everybody. So that pays $7,700. Okay, now you're able to commission at whatever level you're in. Legally, we have to pay you if you make a sale, even at any level. So if you're a free affiliate, you make $250 when you make a sale. So let's get that out of the way. You make $250. When the $250 actually matches in the 30-day period, matches $12,500, then you can make $7,700. But otherwise, you can commission at the level you purchase at the end of the day. There is some FTC stuff that we legally have to follow, and we do. So the $12,500 pays $7,700. The $5,000 product, when you make a sale, you make $3,250. Okay? So if you're a Platinum and you make a Platinum Plus, you only make $3,250, unless you're a Platinum Plus and you make $7,700. The level 2, or the level 1 is $2K, and it pays you $1K. Okay? So if you're at this level, this is called the silver. Fair thing, brother. Yeah, solid sale. Okay. He says, yeah. So we're gonna hear about. Well, raise your hand if you want to hear about the Platinum Plus and kind of what the story is there, and then I will unmute that story and we'll share it because it's powerful stuff. Anyway, this is the silver. This allows 2 weeks of usage per year. Weeks cost $398 to $799. Okay, so that's a 2-week package per year. You buy it one time for $2,000 on one trip. You can save that back, and when you sell it, it makes you $1,000. At the 5K, you get up to 10 weeks of usage per year. Weeks cost $398 to $799. You can use up to 10 a year, and it pays you $3,250. This is where most people make their sales. Now the 12.5, this is the Platinum Plus. It pays 20, or you can use 20 weeks per year. The reason we created this level was because we had some people that actually maxed out their 10 weeks. Like they traveled and they'd spend 4 weeks in Florida, 4 weeks in Hawaii, 2 weeks and they're like retired and stuff. And they said, we want a bigger package. So we created the 12.5, pays $7,700. It gives you 20 weeks per year. And it's just like super crazy. So those are the levels, those are the payouts, and if you join at the $2,000 level and you sell a $5,000 package, you only make $1,000. So you tier it down that way. So it's a straight one tier thing. There's no pass ups. There's no quotas. There's no monthly, you know, fees. I mean, you name it. It's a super straight, super clean pay plan. I absolutely love it. Drive here wasn't my mindset. A couple of videos. Yes, Neil. The answer is yes. True, true, true. Let's connect. Call. Shelly, I will write down your number here. 5-3. Make sure you get back to the person that invited you here, but let's hear about this Platinum Plus because it's kind of a fun deal. All right. Let's see, Mercado, where are you? Mercado, Robert, you're killing me. Mercado, my brother.
What is up? What is up?
So, congrats. You know, that was kind of fun. So,
It was.
Tell us the story. Platinum Plus. I mean, is he on the line? Does he want to share? I mean, what's going on?
I don't know if he's on the line. He's actually in the Starbucks, and he's completing his order.
Nice.
So this all starts with you actually sending out an email, getting me into the kind of coaching type of stage. You know, I've done working online, making money, doing my own product, and then I saw an email from you, and I'm like, let me read this, because all your emails are interesting. So I go through the email. You're offering like a $37 product, and it actually shares that the VIP day, the whole strategy behind it, and how you're going to go into it and everything. So I say, you know what? What the heck? It doesn't hurt to try something out, and you never want to expect things, but hey, put it out there and see what happens. So I put up a simple Facebook post, and I actually make $10,000 that day because of 2 coaching students taking me on with the VIP day, $5,000 each. So that's
what a $37 product, everybody.
Exactly. So I made a little profit there. So now from that, I started getting into the coaching. I was like, this is pretty cool. You can actually help other people, uplift them, share some value, coach them, and make some good money. So as soon as I started getting into that trend and coaching, I started taking on some more coaching students. So the revenue just started growing with that. Now, this is actually a recent coaching student that took me up on my coaching services. And we did actually a session yesterday. Went great. He loved it. I learned from it. That's what it's all about. And he actually, I invited everyone on my Facebook list, my page, to the event, put out a huge event to both my page and my wife's, Allie. And he actually jumped on the webinar. So what do you know? You put something out there, people will actually jump on a webinar. And he was really excited from what he saw. And he said, you know what, I'm in. Allie actually, he messaged Allie on her Facebook, and Allie comes to me and she's like, we got a sale. And I'm like, that's awesome, babe. She's like, yeah, he wants to join GRN. I'm like, that's even more awesome. Let's get him. And then that's it, yeah. So it's
well, you know, in the Platinum Plus, let's set up a 5-minute chat so I can say hi, because I'm all about, I love the Platinum Plus people. I love all people, but I really love the Platinum Plus people. So let me connect with them for 5 minutes sometime in the next couple of days.
Sounds good. Perfect.
Awesome. So, and this is the power of really generating that lead. And you know, that lead, he was a lead out there in Netherlands, right? Or how did he connect, you know?
I don't remember exactly how, but like you said, he was a lead out there. Yeah. Connected on Facebook, you know, and then saw what I'm doing. Yep.
That $1 to $7 lead, and you commit to growing that list, and then you promote a webinar like tonight. You send people tonight, and they see, you know, they see things like we're showing here, this timeshare deal, which is an absolute. It's not a scam. It's just the alternative to what we have, which is way better. And then they see this, and this like makes Hawaii possible. It's $1,600 in savings. It's like going to Hawaii for free airfare. It's like getting free Hawaii. Then you've got like this one I didn't share, but this is Wyndham Flagstaff, $275 for the week, compared to on Expedia it was who cares? It was $1,323. I mean, come on, people. And then here, this is just, we had a great time saving 63%. But basically, send them here, and people see this kind of stuff, and then they join, and then, you know, it's a nice deal. So we've gone longer than 30 minutes, but I appreciate all you guys. I love you. Get back to the person. Mercado, thanks for sharing it. Congrats on the new
You got
setup.
it. Thanks for
Probably have
work.
some platinum sitting in there too. So
Right about
make sure you get back with whoever invited you here, and then ask them about getting into Phoenix. We have our private Facebook group, so signing up takes just a few minutes. And then once you're in, you'll come into our private Facebook group, which we just started ramping up. The rule used to be I was going to keep it under 125 people, and then we recently opened it up so new paying people could come in. And then when you join, this is where we kind of center a lot of communication out of. So like tonight, I talked about the importance of sending out the live event, and then this is like where you grab your link for tonight's event and promote it to your people. This is where you get your questions answered and blah, 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 blah. And this is what we get you into. So, like for instance, when another sale is made, I'll pop out like Alondra, however I say that. She just made another platinum. She's awesome. Jerry's coming to the high ticket event. Steve just purchased his plane ticket. So it's a community out there. So anyway, Michelle just booked her ticket to Phoenix. So we got a cool little community. This was the recording of, I'll put this on here because this webinar, if you want a little more intel, this was a webinar that was really, really popular. And I'll send it to all of you to send to all. This is one that I believe Brenda did. That was, I think it was Brenda. If it wasn't Brenda, it wasn't Brenda, it was Vince. If it wasn't Vince, it was Michelle. I'm not sure. But anyway, you can take a look at that. So we plug in here, and this is where the details of all the live event are at. It's down here. Just scroll through. You'll find it. All right, gang. Other than that, get back to the person that invited you here. Signing up takes 5 to 7 minutes. Ask your final questions on, what you want answered before you join, and then come join the high-ticket party. Your leads are going to cost the same amount whether you have a $200 commission, a $500 commission, or a $7,700 commission. This travel product it has been the greatest purchase in my entire life, literally in my entire life. Nothing has been better than this membership because it's caused the greatest memories of my life with my family. So I love it like that. All right, gang, I'm out of here. Peace.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be